Just two days before Christmas, a fatal fire on Detroit's west side. I'm Camille and Mary. We'll have details straight ahead.
And if you still need to get your holiday shopping done, time is certainly running out. We'll take you to a holiday market in Sterling Heights, encouraging you to shop local.
And we're also tracking a relatively dry evening with drier weather heading into Christmas Eve. But more rain arrives by Christmas, so we'll have timing on that and where our temperatures are headed as well in the forecast.
Working for you. Fox 2 News at 6 starts now.
This one is really such a sad story just before the holidays. A fire at a home on the west side leaves a man dead right before Christmas. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Hillary Golston.
And I'm Dave Spencer. We're told a total of 7 people were in the house at the time. Fox 2's Camille and Mary spoke with the firefighters at the scene. She joins us live with more. Camille, what have we learned?
Yeah, just a very tragic situation right before Christmas, as you mentioned, just 2 days before Christmas. Take a look at some video, and we're going to break down what happened. So it was around 12:48 when the 911 call came in that this house was fully engulfed. The fire had started in the upstairs portion of the house. 7 people inside of the house, 3 of them children, we're learning. But it's unclear whether or not everyone was one family, or perhaps it was a family gathering or family and friends, because obviously of the Christmas holiday. So of these 7 people, actually 6 of them were able to get out. 2 of those people we did learn sustained burns and smoke inhalation. They were taken to an area hospital, but that one person, a male in his 20s, unable to get out. He was pronounced dead at this scene. A horrible situation. Neighbors not wanting to talk on camera. Some of the victims on the scene and some of their family members also on the scene, too distraught to talk to us. But we did talk to Fire Chief James Harris. Take a listen.
It's heart-wrenching. It's the last thing we want to pull up to the scene and discover. Our hearts and prayers go out to the families and our firefighters as well. The men and women of the Detroit Fire Department did an awesome job responding. Unfortunately, the one victim didn't make it out.
So right now, the cause of that fire under investigation, and of course, it's just unclear exactly where in the house, but they do know upstairs on the 2nd floor. They don't know if perhaps it was a space heater. They're trying to figure all of that out right now, but just a word to the wise to be very careful tonight. Reporting live on Detroit's west side, Camille and Mary, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, and Camille, as Chief Harris said there, I mean, this is just heart-wrenching, especially considering the time of year, but really any time of year is so devastating to that family. I wonder, because he does work in fire prevention at all, if he gave any tips about, just remembering to do the basics so that this doesn't happen to somebody else.
Yeah, and we did talk about that. Luckily, it's a lot warmer now than it usually is this time of year. But, he did talk about space heaters, and a lot of people do rely on space heaters to heat portions of their home, sometimes all of their home. And one of the things he said is just keep everything away, 4 feet away from that space heater, and watch it at all times. Do not leave it unattended. Make sure that children aren't near it, pets aren't near it, clothes aren't near it. So many things to watch out for with that. And then as far as the Christmas trees go, he said make sure that you always keep your live tree watered and always turn the lights off. If you're not home and if you go to bed, if you're not sitting right by that Christmas tree, whether it's an artificial tree or a real tree, you should always turn those lights off. This time of year, unfortunately, we just see these tragedies that unfortunately could be prevented.
Yeah, so incredibly important. Thank you. Camille and Mary live for us tonight.
And sadly, another deadly house fire to tell you about, this time in Livonia. The fire broke out at a home on 6 Mile just before 8 on Friday. Firefighters were able to rescue here a 68-year-old woman who we're told was the only one living in that home. She was taken to the hospital where she was later pronounced dead. Investigators are still looking into what started this fire.
This is a wild story. A suspect barricades himself in a house after allegedly shooting his stepson in East Point. That's happened just before 11 last night. A 911 call from a woman saying, quote, "He killed my baby," brought police to the house on Limbrecht Avenue near 9 Mile. Police say a man was standing over a woman in the front yard. That man then barricaded himself in the house with the victim of the shooting. Police forced their way inside, removed the victim, and took that suspect into custody. The victim, a 50-year-old man, was shot 3 to 4 times and is listed in critical condition.
All right, you heard Camille talk about a little bit on her live shot about how it's kind of warmer outside, especially when you look at the calendar. So I wonder if we're going to not get that white Christmas after all.
Yeah, I think that dreams of a white Christmas seem to have faded away, but that's okay. We're going to have some moderate temperatures. People can get outside and throw the football around.
Yeah, for sure. Or enjoy any of those outdoor gifts that you get this year, because temperatures starting today and actually heading through the next 2 days or so, our numbers are going to be well above the seasonal high. We should be averaging in the middle 30s. We're 10 degrees above that today. We topped out at 46 degrees, the record high at 59. So we're kind of in between there just in terms of those numbers. But a lot of us holding in the 40s right now as we head into your 6 o'clock hour. 46 in Muskegon, 45 in Detroit right now, 44 in Lansing for those a bit closer to Sturgis, also in the middle 40s. So everyone pretty much staying mild underneath gray skies, though. Luckily, we're starting to get rid of a lot of the moisture, although there might be that stray shower chance around through this evening. Nothing like what we saw this morning. Lots of commotion going on out west, from showers up near the Plain States and then additional showers down near parts of Texas and Oklahoma. We'll see our second weather maker arrive late in the day come Christmas. Could potentially impact any very late Christmas plans. Otherwise, daytime hours stay dry. Notice here heading through the early part of the day tomorrow and into the afternoon, we're underneath a mostly cloudy sky, so not necessarily the brightest next 24 hours, but these should remain a lot drier than where we have been the past, say, 24 hours or so. Numbers tonight will fall through the 40s. We'll bottom out in the lower 40s for a vast majority of the state. We bounce back to the 50s heading through tomorrow and through Christmas. We'll show you if we stay that way through next week in the full forecast here. Don't forget, you can always get the latest forecast by checking the Fox 2 Weather app. Download it for free in the App Store or in Google Play. Dave?
Stephanie, thank you. An MSU basketball player recovering after he was shot while in his hometown for the holidays. Point guard Jeremy Fears Jr., a freshman at MSU, was at a home in a suburb outside of Chicago at around 3:30 this morning when a man walked in and started firing shots. Fears was hit in the left thigh. A 19-year-old woman he was with also shot. Both were taken to the hospital. Fears had to undergo surgery, we're told, but is now in stable condition, as is the woman he was with. Police still working to catch the suspect here.
We've been talking about it during this newscast because we know Christmas is just 2 days away, and I took a lot of heat for this, procrastinating on doing holiday shopping. But as I explained earlier, it's all about the thrill sometimes.
Yeah.
You just want to get out there and get that adrenaline rush.
Well, lucky for you and others out there, if you're looking for something really special with a local touch, a holiday market outside at Lakeside Mall may be able to help. Fox 2's Scott Wolchek takes us all there.
Searching for that last-minute holiday gift? Well, Expo Michigan's holiday marketplace at Lakeside Mall in Sterling Heights has got you covered. Take a look. Gift baskets, handmade jewelry, homemade desserts, 3D printed sculpts, and cotton candy art.
It's very mesmerizing when you watch how it happens.
It's a small business showcase brimming with unique local gifts. Trust me, you're gonna feel like a kid in a candy store.
We have some really cute stuff in store you can't find in any of the stores, and most of the items are handmade by people.
Like Opal's body butter.
God led me to do this to actually not only nourish people's skin, but to nourish their soul.
Another holiday gift idea, how about 100% pure essential oils to get rid of those pesky Demodex mites?
Demodex mite is the one ectoparasite that lives on the body that cause the psoriasis, eczema, lupus, all the different skin disease, and it also allow you to lose your hair. I've invented a system that returns and restores your hair, your nails, your skin, and your body.
Something else that's special, this wall of police and fire patches collected from across the country and the world.
The goal was the biggest collection in the world, and we might actually have it.
Lori Noble is Andy Noble's mom. Her son always wanted to be a public safety officer, and they started collecting these patches nearly 30 years ago.
A couple of people came to his birthday party that were in departments, and they brought him patches. And he was so fascinated that I was like, this is a good morale booster.
They have more than 13,000 on display with thousands more back home. It's quite the sight. At Expo Michigan, you never know what you're gonna find. Expo Michigan's holiday marketplace ends this weekend, so there's still time to get on out here for that holiday gift. Reporting in Sterling Heights, I'm Scott Wolchek, Fox 2 News.
Congress adjourns for a holiday recess, but some unfinished business lingers into 2024. More on the deadlines still looming.
And we've been talking about it. The U.S. has been lacking a clear direction when it comes to establishing standards for AI, artificial intelligence, for a while. But the feds are looking to change all of that, what the Commerce Department is asking for. That's next. Is going down as one of the most unproductive years in Congress if you consider the amount of legislation passed in some decades.
Yeah, with some major legislation still not passed, it's expected to be an eventful start for the chamber in 2024. Fox's Chad Pergram with more.
Since Congress didn't accomplish much in 2023, the big stuff slips to 2024. Top of the list, a bipartisan package to beef up the border, which is in shambles.
This is tough to come to a compromise, and it's just as tough to write, to make sure that you get the ideas down onto paper in a way that makes sure that the policy is implemented correctly.
It may take weeks to get a deal. Perhaps another week just to write the bill.
I think we haven't passed a significant immigration bill since Reagan's second term. And so this is not easy, but we're working hard to get an outcome because the country needs it, and the country needs it soon.
Mitch McConnell is one of the biggest advocates in Congress for Ukraine, but Republicans are divided over helping Ukraine.
We need to hold the line. We should not have a single dollar going to Ukraine at all until the southern border of the United States is secure.
Congress faces two deadlines to fund the government in the next 6 weeks. The first hits January 19th. There's not even a consensus among leaders on how much the government should spend.
The extreme MAGA Republicans remain on an island, trying to break the agreement that they themselves negotiated. It's a non-starter. It's not happening.
But a potential government shutdown could stop everything, ranging from border security to the impeachment investigation of President Biden. On Capitol Hill, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
So what rules govern AI in the United States? How fast should it be developed, or whether it should stall? These are all questions that have been open, but the Commerce Department is taking the first steps towards new standards for artificial intelligence. The department is seeking public comment and involvement on the potential guidance through February 2nd. It comes after President Biden issued an executive order in October to get the ball rolling on this kind of thing that addresses public safety, security, and trust.
Well, it was a very damp day for us here across the state, very gray too. We are still dealing with maybe a few stray light sprinkles here and there, and our temperatures have been holding in the middle 40s pretty much through the entire day today. 45 degrees right now in Detroit, 47 for those in Minneapolis, 57 in central parts of the U.S. Kansas City, you're at 57 degrees, so milder air just a little further south and west of us. And we are holding on to quite a bit of cloud cover, so it was a very gray day for us here. And unfortunately, we're not going to see that break up a whole lot. Luckily, though, we do see drier conditions for a lot of us heading through the overnight. Few showers out west of us here. We have a couple systems in the northern plains states, then down near parts of Texas dealing with a few showers. We'll eventually see our next weather maker arrive heading through the end of Christmas Day. So from now until then, we do squeeze out a lot of dry time. It's just shrouded with a lot of cloud cover. Overnight tonight, hanging on to clouds. We might see a little bit of fog develop too, kind of like what we saw early this morning. In some spots, it could get a touch thick. Numbers don't really decrease too much. I think we'll bottom out in the lower 40s, damp with fog around through the overnight and through the early part of the morning hours tomorrow. Otherwise, temps are looking a little better too. We should warm to near 50 degrees for Christmas Eve. Cloudy skies will stick around, so not a whole lot of sunshine on tap for us tomorrow. Unfortunately, those numbers will quickly climb towards that 50-degree mark tomorrow. Otherwise, our Fox Futurecast through the day on Sunday should should be okay. Fog to start, that should move out, and then eventually we'll start to see our next system arrive. Note timing on this, heading through the day on late Monday into early Tuesday morning. So by midnight, we'll see the leading edge of that rain move in, sticking with us through most of the day on Tuesday. So if you have any travel plans to take you around the state, maybe back home, that's when you're going to be dealing with some of those showers. Mild Christmas for us, though. It's not too out of the ordinary to see temperatures near the 50-degree mark. You could see the earliest was back in 2021, where we topped out at about 53 degrees. Now, we could see numbers fairly similar to that, and it was a lot better than last year, where we had that cold blast with temperatures in the teens. 50 on Sunday, Monday for Christmas, we should be in the lower 50s. Late showers arrive, so a lot of us staying dry during the day. And through the rest of the work week after that, we do have that spotty rain chance, and then eventually as temperatures cool, we could see maybe a few lighter snow showers or a light wintry mix. The extended forecast shows numbers gradually cooling through the 40s by Thursday. Friday will be in the upper 30s with that snow shower chance, and then by Saturday of next week, we should be mainly dry with highs in the upper 30s. Hillary?
All right, thank you so much, Stephanie. We appreciate that. Well, if you are looking to buy a new car, you might want to wait until after the holidays to drive it off the lot. We'll explain why experts say 2024 could be the best year for new cars.
Christmas shoppers are flocking to stores nationwide, and stores are ready for the rush. I'm Madison Scarpino in Atlanta, where Super Saturday is underway.
Well, it looks like there's more trouble for Tesla this time. It has to do with the doors, and the automaker is recalling thousands of its EVs because of a safety risk. More than 120,000 Model S and Model X cars are part of the recall. We're talking model years between 2021 and 2023. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says the doors can unlatch during a crash, increasing the risk of injury. The automaker recalled 2 million of its cars because of flaws in the self-driving system. You might remember that was a little over a week ago. As far as we know, though, so far, no one has been hurt.
Staying with automotive news, if you're in the market for a new car, you might have better luck waiting until next year. Cox Automotive says 2024 will be a better year for new car sales compared to the past few years, citing an increase in supply and lower transaction prices. Automakers are also expected to offer more deals. And on top of that, interest rates are expected to ease. 2021 and 2022 saw supply of new cars at an all-time low due to part shortages and issues with the supply chain. New car prices started falling this year.
If you like whiskey, listen up. This is good news for you, and also good news for whiskey producers in the United States. The EU is agreeing to keep the tariff suspension against U.S. whiskey imports in place. Distillers were facing a possible 50% tax on products. Trade experts say the deal is part of negotiations between both countries on other potential tariffs. Whiskey exports are down 20% compared to 2022.
The holiday travel rush is in full swing, and the FAA is spreading some cheer for those heading to the airport. The federal agency is opening up airspace that's normally reserved for the military. The move aimed at helping to ease commercial air crowding along the East Coast and the Gulf of Mexico. The agency expects more than 40,000 flights in the air today, making it the second busiest travel day of the entire year. Thursday was another busy day with just under 50,000 flights taking to the sky. Not just busy at the airport, it's a busy day across stores across the country. Millions of shoppers hitting the stores for Super Saturday.
Yeah, I was out picking something up and I was like, man, this is totally packed. People are out there for sure. And we saw that in the numbers. We expected millions to do their shopping today, and they did. Could it be actually busier than Black Friday when it's all said and done? Fox's Madison Scarpino has that story.
The countdown is on to get all those holiday gifts under the tree. And if you haven't gotten everything on your loved one's wish list, you're not alone.
Coming in here, looking at the line, it's not too great.
Just trying to get the last few things out of the way.
More than 140 million people are expected to shop on Super Saturday, the final Saturday before Christmas, according to the National Retail Federation. That number, a steep increase from 2017, the last time Super Saturday fell this close to the holiday.
This time around,
around, be careful because you don't have that much time between Super Saturday and Christmas.
Malls and stores are expected to be packed, with research showing some 53 million shoppers will exclusively flock to stores nationwide to buy last-minute presents. 58 million plan to shop both online and in stores. 11th hour online shopping accounts for about 31 million people.
We are starting to see people waiting a little bit longer. People are trying to stretch those dollars and want to make sure that they're taking advantage of the promotional deals that are available to them.
The NRF anticipates Americans will spend an average of $875 this year, which breaks down to around $250 on festive decorations and food, and about $620 on gifts, which will be a little easier to do this year with stores stocked up on inventory and offering deals.
That's something that we haven't seen over the past few years because goods have been short and we haven't seen as many discounts. So it's a great time to be a consumer.
December 25th doesn't mark the end of the holiday shopping season. The NRF says 70% of people plan to shop the week after Christmas. In Atlanta, Madison Scarpino, Fox 2 News.
And we did see a very mild day today and mild evening. Cloud cover hangs on strong. We'll see a little bit of fog develop overnight as well. Temps will mainly be in the 40s through the overnight hours. We could be talking 50s for Christmas Eve. We'll show you if we see any rain chances through the end of your holiday weekend in the forecast. Coming up.
It's very special, and I thank them very much. I'm very thankful for Cece and Emily. If it wasn't for them, my son wouldn't be here.
These officers are now considered family after they responded to a call they'll never forget.
No matter where your holiday travels take you this year,
we want to go with you.
Just grab the remote wherever you are and search Fox Local on the Smart TV's app store.
A few clicks later, and we're back, celebrating the holiday season together. Fox Local, that's hottest from Fox 2 News.
On a Smart TV.
Well, some gifts are delivered before Christmas, and this just happens to be one of them. A joyous reunion for a Metro Detroit mom this holiday season.
Yeah, and it's a gift in two ways. A baby and the gift that a few police officers gave to mom. And she got to reunite with these police officers who helped deliver her baby more than a month ago. And we were there as she walked out with more than just a smile on her face. Fox 2's Lauren Edwards has that story.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's very special, and I thank them very much. And I'm very thankful for Cece and Emily. If it wasn't for them, my son wouldn't be here.
Mom Olivia Pelkey-Holt grateful for the gifts that Fraser police officers Emily Birkinshaw and Celeste Nichols gave her Saturday morning, and it's all for her infant son, Jaden.
I mean, when he was first born, he fit right into our hands, probably about that big. We were able to go see him at the hospital the next day, brought a little welcome basket that night, too.
Back on November 17th, around 5:45 that morning, they responded to an emergency call they'll never forget. Olivia woke up not feeling well.
Took a bath. The bath helped, so I lay back down, and it started getting worse.
It actually got much worse, she says.
To feel down there, and I did, and I felt something that wasn't supposed to be there. And I'm like, I'm in labor.
And she was, so loved ones called 911. They came in 5 minutes.
We saw the feet out. Yep, right when we walked in, the feet were out.
Both the officers are also trained EMTs, so they knew what to do.
Got down there, gloved up, and she gave me about 5 good pushes probably. Caught the baby. Once the baby arrived, Officer Nichols caught him, and I was able to take the suction and suction the fluid out of his mouth and get him to start breathing.
Now, there was a paramedic and another officer present that day, both men, and they chose not to speak about what happened, but they all say that the women were the all-stars.
It's special and more rare to be able to actually follow through after a call like this, and I know that we'll remember this for the rest of our lives.
Mom says baby Jaden is still in the hospital and is thriving. He's got a full head of hair and is lifting his head. The officers were glad to hear that, and Mom says they're now a part of the family.
Honorary and Cece and Emily for sure. Birthday invites every year. Yep.
In Fraser, Lauren Edwards, Fox 2 News.
Well, we are just a few hours, really, away from Christmas, and kids got to have a meet and greet with Santa and his reindeer and get a free gift while enjoying some holiday cheer. Kids up to the age of 16 were eligible for this giveaway. The event was hosted by Greenhouse of Walled Lake at the Stonecrest building in the same city. The business owner dressed up like Santa himself to help make the event festive. And here's what he tells us, or here's why he tells us that he does this.
People are having hard times at Christmas time, and it feels great to be able to help out a family or a little kid at Christmas time because, man, it's Christmas. And if you can help somebody out, just do it.
Jerry Millen also said nothing is greater than seeing the smiling faces of children at any age when they receive a Christmas present.
All right, and certainly the Christmas joy doesn't stop there. A black fraternity is spreading the love of the season to families in the area. Members of the Detroit chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha were out at Meyer and Southfield paying for customers' groceries. Isn't that a beautiful thing when you get to the end of the line and you're like, hey, it's totally free? About a dozen or so fraternity members were there finding random families and offering a helping hand just in time for the holidays. In total, the Detroit Alphas handed out $3,000 in gifts and groceries. That is some unexpected cheer, and we love it.
Yeah, definitely. Believe it or not, exactly 1 year ago this weekend, Michigan was getting slammed with snow.
There are so many kids out there who are looking at that image, even though there's a guy pushing his car, thinking, I would love to have a white Christmas. Not going to happen. In Metro Detroit, we only got a few inches, but upwards of 2 feet of snow fell in other parts of the state at that time. This year, a stark contrast with Christmas expected to have 0 snow. Sorry, a big fat goose egg in terms of snow. Let's check in with Stephanie Meade.
Do you guys know what came with that, though? It was like 16 degrees.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think I'd rather
cold.
have the 50s with the possible showers arriving late in the day. So a lot of our daytime hours do remain dry. Tomorrow morning for Christmas Eve, we are tracking a little bit of fog. That will eventually give way to just cloudy skies during the day. Mainly dry for any Christmas Eve plans that you do have. So maybe you're heading out to church services or any last-minute Christmas parties. It should be okay during the evening hours. And then rain arrives later on in the day come Christmas, but it should be mainly dry up to about 10, 11 o'clock at night. So over the next 24 hours to 36 hours, we are looking at a quiet forecast. Temperatures right now mainly in the 40s, 45 Detroit, 44 in Lansing, 41 in Mount Pleasant. And for the most part, a lot of that moisture we saw early this morning well off to the east. We have additional moisture, though, west of us here. So that will arrive late Monday night and into the day on Tuesday. For right now, though, just mostly cloudy skies. Fog develops overnight into early tomorrow morning. There might be that stray shower chance, but as a whole, we are mainly dry heading through the day on Sunday. Temperatures tonight holding in the 40s, lows bottom out at 42 degrees. Could be a tad damp just from what we saw earlier today. Otherwise, nothing actively falling from the sky. Tomorrow, highs will reach the 50-degree mark. Mainly cloudy skies take us through the afternoon tomorrow. And our next system arriving late Christmas Day. This is Christmas Day, mostly cloudy skies. Will be around for most of the afternoon and evening. This is by 10, 11 o'clock at night. Leading edge of that rain will arrive, and that's going to stick with us through the day on Tuesday. So it could be a touch wet for your travel plans home. Otherwise, temps low 50s by Tuesday. We'll be in the middle 50s with showers around. Our numbers here heading through the next several days will be mainly in the 50s and then drop to the 40s once we head through the middle part of the week, and then upper 30s with maybe a light chance of either a light wintry mix or snow through the day on Friday. So I guess take advantage of the 50s while we have them.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, it's good. The kids might be a little disappointed, but who cares?
Who cares about
right.
those
Who cares?
kids?
It'll be lovely outside. That's what counts. For sure. Enjoy your gifts.
Lions are open to manage a victory. Can the Lions take a step into the playoffs with a win on Sunday against Minnesota? We'll have a game preview, and then we'll have a game review of the Red Wings. Detroit escaping a tight win against the Flyers, and Patrick Kane had a hand in the victory. I'm Woody Woodruff. We'll hear from the Red Wings forward up next in sports. The Lions are on the threshold of an NFC North title, and the Minnesota Vikings are in the way. Can the Lions take that next step? Detroit fans definitely think so, but is there still any doubt about the Lions in the national media? Fox 2 Sports Director Dan Miller went one-on-one about this matchup with Fox NFL analyst Jonathan Vilma, and Vilma was straight to the point.
The challenge for the Lions is to capitalize when the opportunity is there. So you're going to have a chance to get over the top of the defense. You have to hit it. You can't overthrow the player. the player can't drop the football, anything like that. Just make the play. You're going to have an opportunity to get one deep in the middle of the field. You have to connect on that. You're going to get a matchup that is very favorable. Laporta on somebody that cannot cover Laporta, right? Whoever it is, capitalize on the opportunity, right? So it's going to be almost like feast or famine when you start to think about it, where they may get a few plays, they may get a couple TFLs, maybe a sack here or there, but all of a sudden you could be up 14 because you hit 2 big plays over the top of the defense.
There's a lot here for the Lions if they win this game. Things that we haven't had in Detroit in decades, but that's after the game. First, you got to handle the game. Is it hard to separate, hey, there could be a division title, there could be a home playoff game, from what you have to do on the field for those 60 minutes?
No, it's not hard to separate that. I think with the leaders that the Lions have, Goff, there are too many veteran guys on the team that are going to allow for the white noise, the outside noise to play a factor in how they prepare for this weekend.
Now be sure to join us on Sunday at 10 a.m. where our Lions coverage starts with Lions Game Day Live. Then it's Fox NFL Kickoff at 11 with the Lions and Vikings at 1. At 4:25, the doubleheader continues with the Cowboys and Dolphins. And Sportsworks Sunday Night brings up the rear at 11 p.m. So if you're looking for the best that the NFL has to offer, look no further than Fox 2. The Red Wings picking up a huge win on home ice last night against Philadelphia. But boy, oh boy, did this game turn into a roller coaster. Fans feeling sassy with Detroit jumping out to a fast 5-1 lead after the first period. But by the end, everyone was gripping the stick hard as Detroit had to go into survival mode to force overtime. And then Patrick Kane gave the Red Wings 2 points with this game winner in the shootout. Kane with 2 goals in regulation and the difference maker in the shootout to help Detroit end a 4-game slide. After the win, Kane actually downplayed his performance.
I don't think it was one of my better games, but you end up, it ends up looking all right on the score sheet, right? So sometimes you're not going to have the puck as much as other nights, but just try to get the time down and get the chances, put them home. You know you're going to get chances, especially playing with Alex and Larch too. So just try to be ready when they come.
NBA Pistons owner Tom Gores spoke last night about Detroit's losing ways, but tonight's the night where the entire basketball world will be watching to see if the Pistons can tie the record for the longest consecutive game losing streak in league history. Detroit at 25 and counting tonight in Brooklyn against the Nets. We'll see if the squad stays on target for number 26 tonight at 10. Now, just in case you Pistons fans have forgotten what on-the-court success looks like and sounds like, we present Sacramento's Malik Monk in this effort against the Phoenix Suns.
Goodwin with the steal. Look at Keanu. Give me that. Keanu with the theft. Took his lunch money. Malik.
Took his lunch money indeed. Monk converting off the turnover, and that helped the Kings to a 15-point win over the Suns. 120-105 was the final. Of course, we will have all eyes peeled on the Pistons tonight as they get set for a date with history, or maybe end all this stuff right now.
Please end it. All we want for Christmas is a win.
That would be good.
Both Detroit teams, yeah.
No lumps of coal this weekend.
Please.
And we're also looking forward to the Lions doing well, hopefully tomorrow.
Take the next step, win that NFC North title. It'd be huge. Huge in this town. We've been waiting a long time for this.
I'll be watching. Thanks, Woody.
Sure.
All right, well, millions around the world are preparing for those Christmas dinners, but with all that food comes the risk of developing a foodborne illness. Some tips on how to prevent becoming sick over the holidays.
And speaking of sickness, a mysterious illness has made some deputies and inmates sick. What investigators say caused their symptoms. That's coming up in Health Force. We know that Christmas is right here. I mean, we're literally talking just a matter of hours. Many of you are likely spending a lot of time in the kitchen getting all the holiday food ready to go.
I'm going to be eating it all, but if all that food left out on the table, it could also increase your risk for a foodborne illness. Fox's Angela Shen working for your health on how to make sure the food you eat is safe.
Before getting started in the kitchen, you and anyone who's helping
should wash your hands for 20 seconds with soap and hot water.
You want those helping hands to be healthy hands.
When preparing foods, it's important to keep things like meats away from vegetables to avoid any cross-contamination.
Don't use a cutting board that might have juices from your raw chicken or your raw turkey. You don't want to mix that with anything that is already fresh.
Separate foods if anyone has food allergies too. When cooking, use thermometers. Chicken or turkey should be cooked to at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit. When reheating, it should be at that temperature too. Vegetables should be washed thoroughly with cold running water. Thaw foods in cold water as well, not hot water or just leaving them out.
It is very dangerous because bacteria can collect and can start growing on the top of the surfaces of your foods while the interior of your food is still very frozen.
Put food that's been out in the refrigerator after 2 hours.
You want to keep things at a safe temperature. You don't want to abuse the temperatures.
Leftovers should be eaten in 3 to 4 days, but can keep longer in the freezer. Health experts say 1 in 6 Americans comes down with a foodborne illness every year. Common symptoms include diarrhea, fever, vomiting, and headaches.
It is common, but with safe practices, definitely, and your meals can be safe to be consumed.
When it's time to clean up, use hot water and soap or a dishwasher to clean utensils and dishes. If you're taking food somewhere else, use a cooler.
So what you want to do is completely submerge the container in ice. Make sure that the ice covers the top of the container as well, and then tightly close the cooler.
And that was Fox's Angela Shin reporting. We're turning now to another story, kind of bizarre. A number of deputies and inmates in Arkansas came down with some kind of mystery illness, and investigators are trying to get to the bottom of it. 2 inmates and 5 deputies were affected here. It happened at a detention center about 40 minutes outside Little Rock. The deputies became unconscious and began developing rashes and feeling chest pain. They were taken to the hospital. They say the 2 other inmates also showed signs of coming down with some kind of sickness.
Losing consciousness, heart pain, and then at the same time having a rash. Initially, we were being informed that it involved some paper that was soaked in some kind of common day household chemicals.
Okay, so it gets even curiouser. Investigators now believe it came from smoking because there was an odor in the facility. 5 deputies hospitalized are now back on the job. A beloved actor, Danny DeVito, still hard at work, lends his voice to the new film Migration. We'll show you why this is such a unique kind of movie. It's next.
Well, you can't just throw out everything. His teeth is somewhere in this room.
The 79-year-old Danny DeVito has never met a role he couldn't sink his teeth into. Currently starring on Broadway with his daughter Lucy in the show I Need That.
I need that. I would love to see that. You got a few more weeks on Broadway with your daughter. How's it going?
It's going great. It's just been the joy of my life. Working on stage with Lucy is great. I Need That is at the Roundabout Theater. We finish on the 30th, so we're gonna have 2 days for Christmas and then go away and finish up at the end of the year. But we've been working on it for a long time. It's a wonderful play, and thank goodness we've been packing them in every night. And that's the great thing about being on Broadway. You have, nice, good audiences, and that gives you the juice. What do they do? Rip you apart, then eat you? Dan, I don't know how they do it. What's the method?
DeVito is also the voice of the cranky uncle in the new animated film Migration.
Migration, and your character's name is actually Dan, Uncle Dan. How did that come about?
I like that. I like I don't know. That was their, they're doing, I said, I've worked with these people before, and we did the Lorax together. Yep. They're such good people, Illumination, Chris Melandandre and those folks. And when I read the script, it was Uncle Dan, and I said, this is really cool. When I saw Migration, I was blown away because you get this in little bits. I love this film. This is like
It's well done. It's well done.
I got a 9-month-old granddaughter who's not old enough to go to the movie theater, But very, very soon, she's going to see this movie.
My last question, and you can make this really short because I'm about out of time.
Okay.
Taxi Reunion was great to see, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
I still yell, Nardo. Love it.
Yeah, Nardo. We see each other every month because we do a Zoom every month with the cast, and we're like a family. It was a great thing, the Taxi Reunion.
Well, I'll tell you what, watching you through the years, you feel like family to me as well, Danny DeVito. I appreciate the time. Detroit loves you, man.
Thank you very much. Peace.
All right, that was Lee Thomas. Now here is a live look at downtown on a very festive Saturday. We'll have a final check of your weather coming up after the break.
No matter where your holiday travels take you this year,
we want to go with you.
Just grab the remote wherever you are and search Fox Local on the Smart TV's App Store.
A few clicks later, and we're back, celebrating the holiday season together. Fox Local, that's hottest from Fox 2 News.
On a Smart TV.
Not a lot of shoveling going on this weekend, I'm guessing, for those people.
No, which is nice. Just kind of remembering last year with that blast of colder air. Stuck around for a bit. We topped out at 16 on Christmas Day. Stark difference this year. Well, a lot of us will be in the 50s, so that is well above the seasonal high. We should be settling into the middle 30s. So in some cases, almost 20 degrees above our seasonal high there for Monday. Otherwise, we do see a few rain chances arriving late in the day Christmas. Otherwise, we should see relatively dry conditions tomorrow through much of the day on Christmas, and then our next chance for rain arriving Tuesday. So travel home from any of the holiday plans you have through the middle part of the week might get a little dicey, but overall nothing that's going to create too much havoc.
Pistons and Nets tonight. Again, the Red Wings and Devils. So we'll have all those highlights tonight.
All right, there's a lot to look forward to. That is Fox 2 News. We appreciate you so much for being with us.
Stay tuned for Critically, then see you at 10.